There's a tube of Burt's Bees lip balm sold every second in the United States. Every single second. 86,400 a day. 31.5 million a year. The brand claims 19.3% of all U.S. lip balm sales, more than Chapstick, Carmex, and Blistex combined. And on February 15, 2022, the first of multiple class action lawsuits was filed in federal court. The allegation, the products marketed as 100% natural, pristine kind to skin and planet, and consciously crafted with ingredients from nature contain PFAS, forever chemicals. The same chemicals this channel has covered in eyeliner and sunscreen, in mascara, in the product you have been applying to your lips every day. Every number in this video comes from court documents, lab testing results cited in court filings, and public business records. Let's go. Here's the Burt's Bees story as the brand tells it. Burt Shavitz, a beekeeper from Maine, a former New York photographer who moved to rural New England, kept bees and sold honey at a roadside stand. He met Roxanne Quimby in 1984. She made candles from the leftover beeswax. She turned that into a company. Burt's face on the tin, the cabin in the woods, the bees. It is a genuine story, and it is still the story the brand leads with on their website in 2026. Here's the part they mention less prominently. In October 2007, the Clorox company announced it was acquiring 100% of Burt's Bees for $925 million. $925 million. Clorox, the company that makes bleach, Pine Sol, Liquid Plumber, Formula 409, Glad trash bags, Kingsford charcoal, Hidden Valley ranch dressing. That is the corporate portfolio that now owns the brand built on a beekeeper's face in a cabin in Maine. Burt Shavitz himself, who had long since separated from Roxanne and was bought out of his stake early on, died in July 2015 at 80 years old, still living in a converted turkey coop in rural Maine. He never saw a meaningful share of what the brand became worth. The company kept his image. They paid $925 million to a company. The man whose face is on the tin died in a turkey coop. That is the origin story the brand does not put on the front of the website. Before the PFAS lawsuits, there was a different lawsuit, a simpler one. On March 2, 2022, a class action was filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court by a plaintiff named Perry Bruno. The allegation, nearly 50 varieties of Burt's Bees lip products are falsely labeled 100% natural because they contain hydrogenated oils. The science here is straightforward. Hydrogenation is an industrial chemical process. You take a vegetable oil, you expose it to hydrogen gas in the presence of a metal catalyst at high temperature and pressure. The unsaturated fatty acids react with the hydrogen atoms. The oil changes its structure. The product is chemically distinct from anything that occurs in nature. The lawsuit argues, and the court found plausible, that a reasonable consumer who reads 100% natural origin on a Burt's Bees product would not expect the product to contain an oil that has been through an industrial chemical process. Burt's Bees tried to get this case dismissed. A federal judge, Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett of the Central District of California, denied the motion to dismiss. The court ruled the case could proceed. The amended complaint survived because numerous courts in the Ninth Circuit have found it plausible that a reasonable consumer would be misled by similar, natural labeling. The case is still active, nearly 50 products, 100% natural on the front. Hydrogenated oils inside. That was lawsuit number 1. Lawsuit number 2 is bigger. February 15, 2022. Plaintiff Daniela Gruen files a class action in the Northern District of California. The allegation, Burt's Bees Flutter Mascara, Nourishing Mascara, Lip Shimmer, and Lip Gloss products contain undisclosed PFAS, per, and polyfluoroalkyl substances, despite being marketed as 100% natural, kind to skin and planet, and free from chemicals of concern. The complaint cites independent lab testing by a green product investigation organization called Mamavation, which specifically tested products marketed as natural, eco-friendly, or sustainable. Their threshold for high fluoride exposure, which indicates likely PFAS presence, was 30 parts per million. Here are the specific numbers cited in the court filings. Burt's Bees Flutter Mascara, 357 parts per million of organic fluoride. Burt's Bees Nourishing Mascara, 357 parts per million. Burt's Bees Lip Shimmer, 36 parts per million. The mascaras came in at nearly 12 times the threshold the testing organization considered high exposure. A second PFAS lawsuit followed on April 7, 2022. Plaintiff Caroline Spindle filed in the same Northern District of California. This case added additional products to the list. lip shine, matte stick, and satin lipstick. The combined lawsuits propose nationwide classes covering all consumers who purchase the affected products. Now here's the specific concern the lawsuits raise about why lip and eye products are particularly alarming in this context. PFAS near your lips means potential ingestion. Every application of a lip product has a direct pathway to your digestive system. PFAS near your eyes means proximity to your tear ducts, a direct vascular pathway to your bloodstream, the same concern raised in this channel's eyeliner PFAS video. Burt's Bees markets lip shimmer to people who want to put something natural on their lips. The lab testing cited in court documents found PFAS. The brand's marketing said chemicals of concern free. The federal court is deciding which one to believe. In September 2022, a third class action was filed. This one was about Burt's Bees pet shampoo. The same 100% natural claim, a different product category, the same allegation, and then a fourth lawsuit targeting the Good product line, a Burt's Bees brand extension, for the same labeling issue. This is the pattern that deserves attention. Not one lawsuit about one product. Multiple lawsuits filed in different courts by different plaintiffs in different product categories, all making the same core allegation. The brand that has built its entire identity and its $925 million acquisition price on the word natural is applying that word to products where the label does not match what is inside the formula. Cosmetics, mascaras, lip products, pet shampoo, brand extensions, same claim, different products, multiple court filings. When a company faces the same allegation across multiple product lines from multiple independent plaintiffs, the courts and legal commentators do not call that a coincidence. They call it a pattern. The pattern here is documented in federal courts. Under case numbers, you can look up on the public access to court electronic record system. Here's what the brand's own marketing says. Every word of this is from Burt's Bees' own packaging, website, and impact report, cited directly in the class action court filings. Consciously crafted with ingredients from nature. Kind to skin and planet. Over 95% natural origin. 100% natural origin. That one appears on the lip products packaging, without chemicals of concern. Their own phrase, their own promise. In their 2020 impact report, which the lawsuit cites directly, Burt's Bees stated, "We've made it a priority to clearly state the percentage of ingredients derived from nature on our product labels." Transparency. That was the commitment. The same brand in the same impact report promoted their place as leaders in the clean, natural beauty market. They described their mission to make clean, conscious skincare more accessible. And the same filing documents their scale. A tube sold every second. 86,400 lip balms a day. 31.5 million lip balms a year. 19.3% of all U.S. lip balm sales, more than any competitor. That reach is built entirely on consumer trust in that one word, natural. The lawsuits are not arguing about whether some of the ingredients are natural. They are arguing about the gap between 100% natural as a claim and what the lab tests found inside the products carrying that claim. When Clorox paid $925 million for this brand in 2007, what they were actually acquiring was that trust. The word natural on the label had a dollar value. The lawsuits are arguing that the value was fraudulently maintained. What has Burt's Bees said publicly about any of this? Not much. No product recall, no reformulation announcement, no press conference, no Instagram post addressing the lawsuits directly. Their current ingredient FAQ on the website acknowledges, in the fine print of a FAQ section, that some heritage and other products contain partially synthetic fragrances. That line sits quietly in the frequently asked questions. It is not on the front of the packaging. It is not on the Kind to Skin and Planet label. The products named in the lawsuits are still available. Right now, today, at Target, at Walmart, at CVS, at Walgreens, at Amazon. The nourishing mascara that the lab test found at 357 parts per million of organic fluoride, nearly 12 times Mamavation's high exposure threshold, is still on the shelf. The litigation is ongoing. No liability has been proven in court. These are allegations. The defendants have denied wrongdoing. What is not an allegation is the lab testing result. The numbers are in the court filing. 357 parts per million. That is a measurement. You can read the methodology. And the products are still in the stores while the courts decide. Here is the documented concern, sourced from the science the lawsuits cite. PFAS accumulate in the body. They do not break down. That is the chemistry behind the name, Forever Chemicals. Once absorbed, they persist in tissue. The pathways the lawsuits identify for Burt's Bees specifically: through the lips, which means potential ingestion; near the eyes via mascara products, which means proximity to tear ducts. The same direct vascular pathway this channel documented in the eyeliner PFAS video. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, a federal public health agency, issued guidance in late 2021 recommending that residents in southern New Hampshire reduce PFAS exposure specifically by avoiding certain cosmetics. A federal agency recommending people reconsider their cosmetics. California banned PFAS in cosmetics effective January 2025. If you live in California, the state legislature has already decided the risk is real enough to legislate. The lawsuits cite PFAS being linked to liver damage, thyroid disease, decreased fertility, and increased cancer risk. These are the same health effects this channel documented in the eyeliner video and the sunscreen video. The specific difference with Burt's Bees is the marketing gap. If a brand openly sold a product containing synthetic chemicals, you could make an informed decision. The allegation is that the brand actively marketed the product as the opposite: natural, clean, free of chemicals of concern, while the lab results tell a different story. That is what the courts are evaluating. You now know what is allegedly in that tube. Subscribe if you want to know what else is on the label before the lawsuit gets filed. See you in the next one.